although you write for such difficult experiences, all right, your book has a positive impact. Okay, how do you do that?
I think because my first intention was not to write about the story, but
Mhm.
it's to be with words. Not to play with words, but just to be with words. To wake up with it, to spend the day with the words, and to look for the words. And I love the beauty of language so much. Not
Yes.
only French or Vietnamese or English, but I've learned a little bit of Chinese, and I find it so beautiful. And when you learn, one word in German, which does not exist in other languages, or another one in Greek, for example, then you go like, oh my God, the human mind, we are
Yes.
so, we are geniuses,
Yeah.
I think,
Yes, we are. Yeah.
and also because we think of languages very differently from one culture to the next because of our geography. Just the word snow. In
Mhm.
Canada, you have maybe 20 words for snow because
Mhm.
we have so many kinds of snow, right?
Yes.
In Vietnam, you have only one word for snow because we have never seen snow.
Or here in Greece, we have one word for snow. This is true. Um,
And
uh,
so that's why, for me at the very beginning, it was to show or to share basically the beauty of concepts, of words, of
yeah.
our brain, how we think from the different angles and different cultures of the words. And so and the story came because I was lazy. I just went for a story that I knew already, and I didn't know that I was gonna write a book.
Mhm.
I just took notes at red lights, and
Okay.
so I never thought that it was a book. It was just, something to keep me awake at red lights because I fell asleep a lot at red lights. And
Okay.
one of the way to stay awake was for me to make list of the words I know and so on and so forth. And then it became notes. And I really loved just taking notes. And I was going to say, do I have it? I'll show you the notebook.
Okay. Yes, please.
When I was in the car.
Yeah.
I rode at red lights,
Yeah.
and and I didn't think that it was important. Well, that it was a book,
Yes. Yeah.
so I didn't even write from the beginning. I
Ah,
write from the end of the
okay.
notebook, you know, and let's see how small it was.
Yes. All right.
And so these are the first, pages of the book.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I wrote it. And even sometimes I just take receipts or small pieces of
Yes.
paper somewhere. I write and then I put in here, but they were only notes. And so probably that's why. But then, when we got off the boat and then the boat broke in front of our eyes, within 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if you believe in God or in some powerful
Yes.
being or not. You become a believer of something bigger than you because you say, how come I have this chance? You know,
Yes.
15 minutes more and I wouldn't be here with you, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So
I know what you mean.
yeah, so everything that came afterwards
Yes.
is a gift. Life becomes a gift.
A gift.
Yes,
Right.
and so it's impossible for me today
Mm-hmm.
to not see positivity.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not telling you that it's easy.
No,
It's a
it's not.
process, you know, it's a discipline that
Yes.
I impose on myself to always see beauty, seek for beauty, because if we don't see beauty, we won't protect beauty and
Yes.
won't create beauty. And
Okay.
we will die, right?
Yes. And yeah,
Yeah. And so
everything else will die with us. So you have never dreamed of becoming a writer when you were a teenager, let's say, or
in order to write, you need to master a language. And I
yeah.
master any of the languages. So
Mhm.
it's like cooking without a knife. Imagine everything, and then you cannot cook because you cannot cut anything, right? And so I didn't think that it was a dream that was accessible for me because I didn't have the language. And also, secondly, because as an immigrant, you don't think that you can have a profession which does not guarantee a revenue, of
Yes,
survival.
yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
survival. And I didn't know anybody, any immigrant, being a writer. And so, no, of course not.
Of
And
course.
just to go back to the first question, I would tell you that I rely on the beauty of words in
Mhm.
order to tell horror.
Yeah.
Because I think, if I tell you horrors, it's very difficult for the reader to understand because most of us haven't had the chance to see horror up close and personal. So if I tell you some story with a bomb or something, you can understand from your head. But
Yes.
beauty, we all have lived through beauty at least once. We have flower, we have smelled a tea, we have seen, we have felt, a kiss. And so all of that makes us, understand beauty. So
Yeah.
if I tell you beauty, it would touch you here,
Yes.
right? And not,
Yes.
and so I think the best way to talk about horror, it has to go through beauty.